What is up YouTube? Ruben here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to install Windows Me Build 2380 in VirtualBox. Build 2380 is part of Beta 1 series of Windows Millennium. So let's get this started. So the first thing you need is VirtualBox. The second thing you need is the MS-DOS ISO. And the third thing, the third link is going to be the ISO from WinWorld PC. So let's get this started. So we're going to click on New. And we're going to type in Windows Me Build 2380. Hit next, next, create, next, create. Then we're going to click on Settings, Storage, click on the empty disk, and you're going to look for your MS-DOS ISO, which mine is right here, and then click OK, and then click on Start. Now the first thing we need to do, we need to type in date. Gotta be sure. Yep. And the date, so we're gonna type in date, and the date we need to change is 09-21-1999. Then I enter, type in date again. You should see that is September 21st, 1999. The next thing we need to do is we need to type in fdisk, and then we're gonna hit enter, 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 enter. And then it's going to restart MS-DOS. And now type in format C:. Then hit enter. And then hit Y and then hit enter. Then hit enter. And now what we're going to do is we can now insert the Windows Millennium Build 2380 ISO. And now the next thing we do is we need to type in R:, then type in dir. And you should see a folder called Win9x, and then type in cd space Win9x, then hit enter, and now type in setup. Then hit enter. If you just launch setup from the main directory on the ISO, it's not going to work. It's going to give us an error. So I did some trial and error, and the first few times it didn't want to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so I'll be back. When you get to this screen, just click on next, and then click on I accept the agreement, and then hit next. And now you have to type in the product key, so that should be included with the ISO. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so I'll be back. After clicking on next, make sure it's set to C Windows, and then hit next. And now it's going to check the hard drive for any issues. And now it's going to check for installed components. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so I'll be back. When you get to this screen right here, either one of these should do. Just click on next. I just usually do typical, and now you have to type in your name, which I'm going to call it Ruben, and then hit next. I just select install the most common components, and then hit next. Computer name, I'm just going to call it WinMe 2380. Speaking of that, I have to be sure. Yep, that's pretty much right. And then click on next. You can choose your specific region and your time zone. I just have them set unless you live in another area. Just click on next. Mine's in Pacific time. That's going to create a startup disk, which there's none. So when you get to this screen, just click on cancel and then click on OK. And then we can click on finish. And then it's going to copy files. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, so I'll be back. Now we're ready to restart, so we're just going to click on OK, and then we can click on restart now, and then it should restart the system. Obviously the ISO is not, actually it is kind of bootable, but we actually boot from the hard drive. If you see this, just click on number 1, boot from hard disk, because you're obviously going to be running on the hard drive, so don't even try to boot on into the disk. And as you see on the bottom right, it says Windows Me Build 2380. So it's gonna set up for any driver. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the video, so I'll be back. Now we're ready to restart, so we're gonna click on restart now. If that glitches out, it always happens. If it does, just go to input, click on mouse integration, and then we're gonna click on restart now. And then it's going to reboot the system, and then we should see the third phase of setup. So it's gonna restart the system. If you still have the ISO in there, just still set to boot from hard disk, and then it's gonna restart. So as you can see, it says beta 1. It didn't mention on the first restart point. It says beta 1. So it's gonna set up for more hardware, and then it's gonna finalize those settings. And then it should give us the last restart point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the video, so I'll be back. Now we're ready to restart, and now you can go ahead and take out the ISO. If it does like that, just ignore it. But we're gonna click on cancel, and then we're gonna click on restart now, and then it's gonna restart the system. Gonna try to unmount the disk, but it doesn't do anything. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna boot from the hard drive, and then we should get us to the login screen. As you can see, still setting beta 1, so we're gonna wait for just a few seconds. As you can see, we're at the login screen, and then it should bring us the window, the dialog box that says Microsoft Network or something like that. This could take some time, so we're gonna let it sit. As you can see, we're just gonna click on OK, and then we should be getting into the desktop. So this might take some time to load because it depends on your hardware, and since I'm running on an all-in-one, this might take some time to load. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video, so I'll be back. And just like that, you have successfully installed Windows Me Build 2380 in VirtualBox. Let me go ahead and eject the ISO real quick if it can load if it can actually load. This might take some time, so let me go ahead and eject it. We're running on an all-in-one, so it's gonna be quite slow to do this. I'm gonna right click and then eject. If I can do this. There we go, it's already ejected. And now what I'm gonna do is, that's it folks. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. If you right click my computer, hit properties, you should see that it's Windows Millennium Build 2380. So thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also follow me on Twitter at RubenApodito17. Also follow me on Instagram at RubenTheTransitFan. So that's how to install Windows Me Build 2380 in VirtualBox. So I'll see you next time.